losing weight was actually the easiest part. It could change my life so much.
2 years ago, I was overweight, unhappy how I looked, and constantly starting healthy habits only to quit a few days later. Today, my life looks completely different, but the biggest surprise wasn't losing weight. It was realising that a few small habits completely change how I live my life. I'm sharing the 5 healthy habits that help me build confidence, stay consistent, and create a lifestyle I can actually maintain. And habit number 4 is probably the reason none of this would have happened.
And in this video today I will be talking about how I instilled these really small healthy habits that were really easy that actually changed my life for the better, that I wish I knew years and years and years ago, because I would have made these changes so much sooner. And hopefully me sharing this video you can too, because they definitely changed my life for the better. Drink more water. I drank 1 pint of water before every single meal. Now this was to actually help me curb my appetite. Sometimes you're not actually hungry, you're thirsty. At the time when I was doing my research on it, your body actually doesn't know the difference between when it's hungry and when it's thirsty. The fact that our bodies can't differentiate, so it sends off signals. Hunger, when your stomach starts rumbling. I found that it really curbed my appetite. It fully works. It's most of the time I was actually drinking a pint of water and I'd start to eat the meal that I'd prepared myself. Even if it was a normal meal, if I wasn't eating healthy, I was eating a takeaway and I was getting a pizza or a wrap, a kebab. As soon as I drank 500 milliliters of water and then I'd start to eat my food, I'd realize, oh my god, I've gotten halfway down this wrap and I'm actually full. Am I actually still hungry, or am I just eating? If you've got to ask yourself, are you hungry? That is when you know you are not hungry anymore. I would be at work and I'd come home. I could not wait till the end of the week to get that weekly takeaway that I'd set myself. A lot of what I was doing in my own head romanticized food. I realized at that point that when times got hard, work got stressful, family members are getting ill or anything like that, it was a way of coping with everything that was going on in my life. My coping mechanism at the time was to resort to food. So a lot of it helped me realize it is in your head and it is just food noise. Like the distinguish between my dependency on food and the need to actually fuel my body to make myself feel better. And mentally, sometimes you need to give yourself a beat. Give yourself 5 minutes and just leave your food, because no one's gonna eat it unless your dog's gonna come and get it or something like that. Give it that few minutes, and if you're not full, then you can go back and eat it. That's completely fine, because you're clearly not satiated. In order to do that, I carry one of these around with me everywhere, which is a 2-litre bottle, which kind of self-motivates when about you should be drinking, how much you should be drinking a day. I always carry this with me, even though it was a pain for who's gonna want to carry a 2-litre bottle of water everywhere they go. It doesn't fit in their bag, they just gotta carry it like a lantern. But it helped me increase my water intake, which is meant to be better for your skin, which is meant to be better for your health overall. Majority of people live in a constant state of dehydration because they do not drink enough water, which is why I constantly carry this bottle of water with me everywhere. I swear by it. People everywhere to say to me, you are constantly carrying a lantern full of water. I know. Think of it as a way to curb your cravings. It basically fills your stomach. Stop copying what's working for people and find out what really works for you. For me, I'm very much a person who needs to have the question of answered of why. If I'm doing something, if I'm going to set out to do a task at work or anything like that, I need to know my why. Why am I doing this? What benefit is it going to have? What do I have to do to get there? I do my research for everything. I become a student in everything that I do. Being a half Thai, and I know how to make quite a lot of Thai food. Thai food is made of like a lot of like whole foods, a lot of lean proteins, there's a lot of vegetables, and it's a balanced diet most of the time. As I was doing the research, that Thai food is actually like one of the healthiest things you can eat. So I actually started eating a lot more Thai food and making a lot more home cooked meals prep for work that really helped me stick to my diet. I had never been to the gym before, and I understand it is so hard to start a gym, especially when you're so overweight, especially how I was. You're self-conscious, you worry people are going to look at you. No, people in that gym are fully focusing on themselves to the point where it's bordering vain, but it's not in a vain way, I promise. Most people are staring in a mirror and they're literally looking at whether they're doing their form right, whether they're going too fast, whether they need to up the weight, focusing on themselves. And that is exactly what you want to be doing if you go to the gym, or when you go to the gym. If an insecurity of yours is going into the gym and people looking at you and thinking this and thinking that and the other, they are not. They are solely focused on themselves. They are looking to make their best self, just exactly like you are doing. The fact that you are there, the fact that they are there, completely different things, but you're there for the same goal, is to work on yourself. I initially started out with going to the gym that was literally down the road. I went there every single day. I made it so easy for myself. I didn't go to a big gym where there was loads of people, loads of equipment. I just went somewhere that was convenient for me and worked for me. So I started looking at exercises all those days that I set out to do whatever. So it could have been glutes, it could have been arms, anything that I wanted to do. And then I went and tried them out. I've got the form down. I've managed to work out how it works. I like this exercise. I feel like I can do this exercise. And if it didn't work for me, I switched it up. Those little kind of things that help you stay motivated. If you're constantly doing a workout that doesn't feel like you're doing it right, and someone just doesn't feel right, if you don't like what you're doing, it's going to stop you from wanting to come back and do it again. It's not going to stick, and that is where you will lose your motivation, you will lose your discipline, you'll lose your consistency. And consistency is absolute key to continue with the way that you want to be and reach the goals that you've set for yourself. Now, that's how I started. I've changed from starting out from the gym. I started incorporating walks because I had to take the dogs out after work, before work, whenever it was. Those dogs needed to go out and get their exercise. And the thing that I implemented is I started doing a 10k steps a day. I work in an office job where you're pretty much sat down majority of the day in meetings, working at a desk. I didn't do much walking. I started incorporating steps at my lunch break because, I wanted to get away from the laptop. I would literally pull myself away from the desk and go for a walk. I would listen to a podcast, listen to music, lighten my day while incorporating my steps in and getting myself outside. Whatever I needed on that day, I did it. I sneak steps in every single day, wherever I can. Rather than taking the quickest route possible, I will take the route that takes 5-10 minutes longer. It just sneaks those little steps in. Daily movement is key. You need to make sure that you are getting in your daily movement. You can have your set days that you go to the gym, set days that you go boxing, running, whatever you want. However, making sure that you move daily and do something with your body is absolutely essential. And I won't lie, at first it was quite difficult to consciously put yourself in the mindset where you're like going from maybe doing 2, 3, 4k steps a day to 10k was quite a big jump. I didn't have the drive that I do now, but it needed to be a big enough jump that I could push myself, go for that walk, that hot girl walk that I love to do. You hear it all the time, never made sense to me before, had no idea how walking in general would be better than going to the gym to actually lose fat. It genuinely is so good for your walking. I've started incorporating it more than ever. I go on fell walking, which is in some of my other videos, just to stretch our legs, feel like I've moved my body, I feel like I've done something a little bit. It puts a bit of like momentum. The moving your body is so key, and it's also like really good for your mental health. Build systems instead of relying on motivation. You could be motivated to do anything, and anyone can be motivated. Now, motivation dwindles. You need to put systems in place for yourself and put yourself in the right environment that makes everything easier for you. I don't care what anyone says. If they say they are 100% motivated, they are lying. To be 100% motivated all the time is just an unrealistic concept. So for me, it was like, I'm going out for a meal, so I want to eat what I want to eat, basically. I've got too much going on. I've got a family to look after. Even though I wanted to lose the weight, I wasn't actually in the mindset to. There's wanting something, and then there's actually putting the actions in place to be that person. I was telling myself that I had all these reasons not to. I think really looking back on it, I didn't have the motivation. I'm a person that really likes to plan. I plan a lot of my work. I plan my workouts. I plan what I'm doing in the week. I have a full Sunday reset where I do my meal prep. I look after myself, do my eyelashes, put treatment in my hair, do whatever I can to reset myself and set myself up for a good start to the start of the next week. There is so many different things in our lives that take up all our time. So I set myself that one day, reset myself, work on me and work out what I want in that week. I wanted to drink more water. What did I do? I bought a 2-litre bottle. You see me, you see this 2-litre bottle. It was always in my bag. It was always full. Made sure that I sipped at it, that I put the system in place that I couldn't not do it. Conscious little efforts, building the systems, putting yourself in the right environment, in the right mind frame to set myself success. Consistency. Now, you'll hear this so many times. Throughout being consistent, discipline can be a very helpful tool. There were so many days where I just did not have the motivation. I didn't want to, and I wanted to order that takeaway. I wanted to go out with my friends. I didn't want to go to the gym. I didn't want to go for that walk, or whatever excuses I came up with. Discipline can be a really good tool as long as it's used in the right way. If you looked at my life 2 years ago, before I kind of blew my life up into pieces in a way. I was in a relationship relationship that people thought I was really happy with. I'd had a family in that way from that relationship. I had a house with my partner. You know, I just bought my first house at 22. We were meant to move in together as a family to that house. Like, I got a job from when I was 18. I ended up going straight into work into an apprenticeship. Came out of that job with a full-time role offered to me, and just 6 months after that role I got a promotion. I've always been quite self-motivated, but then from that I found myself being heavily critical, holding such high standards for myself. I am my own harshest critic. Yeah, I am really bad for judging myself really harshly, and I'm sure we all do it as well. I realised I started like incorporating that into my weight loss journey. You would sit there and probably hear someone say, I'm such a failure, I haven't met the goals that I wanted to meet, why can't I do this for myself, I don't understand why it doesn't work for me. And then you'd be like, well no, you're being way too harsh on yourself. Look how far you've come, look how much weight you've lost, look at all the habits you've changed for yourself, not just for losing weight but for building a healthy lifestyle in general. The fact that you're not crediting yourself for that is exactly what you would say to your friend, to your best friend. Talk to yourself like you are your best friend. Why would you treat yourself any different? If anything, you should be treating yourself more. It's always nice to be nice to yourself. It's nice to be nice to other people because you deserve it. Focus on your wins. You should focus on how far you've come and you continue that momentum. It's always good to put positive reinforcement. If I went and hit a workout at the gym and I really didn't feel like it that day, I'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna go hit that workout and I'm gonna treat myself at the end of it by coming home and eating a slice of cheesecake. Cheesecake is literally my kryptonite. Or you can go on a walk that goes past your favourite coffee shop and buy yourself that treat. All the action that you've done just gives you that boost of motivation that allows you to stay consistent. And I think we can all be a bit guilty of the fact of, well, that's going to take away from my progress. No, it's not. Reinforcing the fact of, yes, I did this thing when I didn't have the motivation to do it, but I still got up and did it and I'm getting a treat for it. I didn't put myself a time limit on when I wanted to lose weight. I just wanted to make the right steps. Every single week I would weigh myself. I would say, as long as I am lower where I was last week, then I am making progress and I am proud of myself. As long as I haven't like gained any weight, I was still making progress in the right direction, then I'm happy with that. I really didn't want to yo-yo in my weight. I wanted to make sure when I got the weight off, I kept it off and I kept doing the right healthy habits, the right lifestyle change to be the permanent version of myself. Me leveling up, only going upwards. We don't go back down, babes. Don't do that. We only head upwards. It's only improvement. I made it a goal of mine that I did not ever hit where I was before. And back to the point where I felt like I was my absolute lowest. My self-esteem was rock bottom. I didn't have any confidence in myself. I didn't believe I could set out to do these things. I will always be that chubby girl that can't do it for herself. I've come so far now where I'm just like, no, it's completely changed my life. I never realized in my entire life 5 healthy habits could change my life so much. I will never look back, and it is such a motivational factor even now to keep going. Thank you very much for listening. If you enjoyed this video and you want to hear more tips and tricks on how weight transformation or any of the facts, just leveling up in general, basically, we are all about self-improvement here. Click. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below for what you want to hear else, because I will be doing more videos in the self-help series. And thank you very much for listening.
ขอโทษที่ฉันเก็บซ่อนความเป็นจริงเอาไว้ต่อไปไม่ไหวร้องไห้จนฟูมฟายทำให้เธอรำคาญใจ